Well, hello and welcome to the show. I'm glad you've joined us for part 2 of building a relationship with your horse in the round pen. This is such an important piece to me. I think the relationship that you establish with your horse in here at Liberty goes a long ways to making your entire riding life just that much more peaceful and that much better. You're going to enjoy it. Part 2 is coming up right here on Discovering the Horseman Within.
Gonna take a ride on one true horse.
Before I saddle up, I put a halter and lead rope on. There was a time in my career when I didn't, when I saddled them absolutely free. I've never had a wreck doing that, but I have seen students have disasters with saddles doing that. So now I just put a halter and lead rope on them. It helps me help them if we get in a bad situation. That's it. Keeps it that simple. Once you're ready to saddle him, bring him out in the center away from everything. Let him see it. Let him know it's there. If you're 6'5" and you bench at least 220, put it up over his head. But for the rest of us, that's probably not going to happen, right? So I'm just going to take it here, make sure my pad's adjusted well, and slip it up on him. And I want to just set that up on him, quiet and easy. You can take it on and off several times if you feel the need. Nothing wrong with that. You can do it on both sides. I typically don't, but I don't mind if you do. Now, I'm about to show you something that causes lots of people great consternation. I'm going to show it to you because I believe it's a safe thing to do. When I'm saddling colts, I put the breast collar on first. Now, before you turn your television set off, as I know some of you may, I've had that phone call before for this, let me explain it. If this horse spooks right now and takes off, what's going to happen? The saddle's going to roll over the side and hang off of his neck. Worst case scenario, he's going to spook and run backwards and it's going to slip off of his ears and be free of him. So for me, even though I have many friends who think I've totally lost my mind when I do this, and I've had angry calls from viewers, I still believe it is absolutely the safest way to saddle a young horse. Once I've got him saddled, I'm going to take this halter and lead rope off of him and step away and just move him off quietly. Not in a big hurry, just move him off quietly. Let him walk a little ways. Move him up to a trot. Let him trot a lap or two. And if he starts to buck, get after him. Don't let him buck. Get after him. Let him know you don't like that. This concept of, oh, I'm going to let him buck and get it out of his system is really the concept of, oh, I'm going to let him get in a bad habit. I don't want him to get in a bad habit. I want him to know that's not acceptable. Move out free and easy. Once he's loping freely, turning in, turning in and loping freely the other way, that's enough. That's all I need. I don't need to run him till he's too tired. I just need to make a change in him. Immediately start sacking him out with your saddle. Good boy. Take your rope, hook it to your saddle horn, and take him for a ride. Pull on that girth right there and release it. While he's still moving, not if he's jumping. Don't pull him to a standstill. You don't want to take the pull out of the saddle horn. You want him to learn to pull harder, not less, but you don't want him to feel like when he feels that pressure on his girth, he can jump. Good. Take that rope. You know, I'm an avid roper, but not a very good one. Sometimes my rope ends up places it's not supposed to be. So I'm going to take it and kind of practice that. Let him feel that. Get that rope up there. Now you get this rope up under there under his tail. Be gentle. That's a sensitive area. Right? You don't want to rope burn that. Just let him feel it. Let him know what it's like to have that rope there. Good boy. Good boy. Teaching is probably one of the most joyful things I do in my life. I love to watch people learn. I love to see them change, and I love to see them make life changes, follow their dreams. That's what our apprenticeship program is all about. It's a 3-level program. We start at the apprentice level, we move to journeyman, and we finish at the master certification level. That program is about people achieving their dreams. These people just like you. That's what they're about. They're here learning so they can go home and create a career in horsemanship. First time I bridle a colt, I want it to be successful. So I go slow. When they accept that bit at their lips, release it. When they open their mouth and take that bit in, let them hold it for a moment and then gently let them spit it back out. Put your thumb in there to encourage them spitting it back out. Let them know this is going to go away. It's not going to last forever. When you do bridle him, just be gentle and careful. Okay. Now, I take a hold of this rein, I take a hold of my saddle horn, and I hold this rein against his neck and just contact his mouth, and we'll show you from the other side here in a moment, until he gives. And as soon as he gives, I release it. That's all I care. This colt's a restart, so it's a little different. But your unbroke horse has never had that pressure in his mouth before. So you just wait. Don't get in a hurry. Just wait. And wait for him to flex in the pole as well as bend. When he tucks that nose and tucks it towards his shoulder, I'll release him. Right there. Good boy. Pick up on that rein again. I keep my hand on my saddle horn so that if he moves, I can go with him. There we go. Good boy. There we go. Good boy. After 3 or maybe 4 gives like this, then I'm going to start connecting it to his hind end. I soften his face. Move his hindquarters around. I'm waiting for the inside hind leg to step in front. When the inside hind leg, closest to me, steps in front of the outside hind leg, then he's actually disengaging the hindquarters. So there I'll release him. Soften his nose. Change my focus. And ask this horse to move his hindquarters around in a forward movement, not a backwards. So stay with him till I get what I want. Stay with it till I get what I want. There. That took quite a while. How long is a minute in the course of 25 or 30 years? Not very long. Good. Look how fast he gets it the second time. Good. I love the lead rope or my lariat laying on the ground. It gives them something to step in and tangle. It's just an obstacle. Gives them something to think about besides just me. Watch that inside hind leg come forward right there. Good. Now I'm not worried about what he steps in when I'm out trail riding, am I? He gets tangled in that stuff. He's done that before. There we go. Good boy. Jump on and hang on. Kidding. None of that. Prepare this horse for what he's about to do. All right? Good. Keep your inside rein closer. Step up and step down. Let him know you're there. Don't make a big wreck out of it. Be quiet. Be smooth. Good boy. Good. What you do on one side, you do on the other. You might step up and down twice. You might step up and down 200 times. That's between you and the horse. If the horse feels like it a couple of times he's going to be good to go, great. If the horse feels like you need to do this a couple hundred times, that's what you do. You do what he asks you to do. You don't get on a young horse until you know he's ready. You wait until your gut says, we're ready. I don't care how long that takes. Now, does that mean I've never made a mistake? No, that does not mean that. I've made mistakes and got on some too soon, same as anybody else. But if you live by that rule, you'll do it less frequently. When you get on this horse, start petting right away. Start moving and get off. Don't stay too long. Don't stay long enough to scare him. Don't stop moving. Keep moving. Stay relaxed. I'm scared. Yeah, I know. Here's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people get on a colt for the first time. And when they first get on, they can't even breathe. Their faces are white and they have a double death grip on the saddle horn. And if they died right then, they would go straight to heaven. Because they are praying the hardest they've ever prayed in their whole life. But about 30 seconds later, they realize, I'm still alive. This horse has not bucked me off. And in the next breath, they turn into John Wayne. And they make some big movement. And it scares this poor colt half to death, and he bucks him off. So the key is not to do that. The key is to keep it quiet, keep it safe, and keep moving. You step up on this colt, don't stay too long, and rock. Move your saddle. Rub his neck. Pet on him. Love on him. When you're ready, you have a comfortable hand, one you like better than the other one. I'm very right-handed on the ground, very left-handed on a horse. So I pick up on that left rein and I hold it. And I ask that horse to give, and that's enough. That's enough. When I switch to the other side, this is hard for me on a colt. I hate going to the right rein because it's the rein I don't like. Pick up on it, hold it, ask him to give. Maybe just hold him there until he moves his feet. Keep rocking that saddle. I am treating this horse exactly as if he'd never been ridden, even though we know I could probably walk off around the round pen or lope off around the round pen. I want you to see exactly what I would do. Release that rein. Every now and then I see people holding a colt. All that's going to do is get you jerked clean over his ears when he pulls his head down. You can't hold him anyways. Pick up on that rein. Wait for him to give. Your hands steady. Rocking your saddle. There we go. Move those feet this time. I release him, but I don't let him take his head back forward. There we go. Good. I want him to move forward, so I'm going to do that again. There we go. Just let him walk out and roll forward. And that's about exactly how your unbroke colt's going to move. Every now and then, some colt spooks and runs. Just sit down and enjoy the ride. What gets people in trouble is when they try to stop the ride. He's in a round pen. He's not going anywhere. Just enjoy the ride. You can ride a horse that's ran before. You've done that. So just sit back and enjoy the ride. Move around. Let him see your arms. Let him know you're up here. You see this colt right away when my left arm came up. His head came back. He needs to know what's up here, right? He needs to know all of this is going on. Pick that rein up. Soften that nose. Pick that rein up, soften that nose, encourage the movement. Don't kick him. He hasn't got a clue what that means. All that's going to do is scare him and dull his rib cage up. It's your first ride. He has no idea what that means. You've kissed to him throughout the whole course of the program or made some verbal noise, so go ahead and do that. That'll help move him. Rock around in your saddle. Pick those reins up. And then once he's moving, you can pick back up on that rein and bend him to a stop. How long should you stay on this horse? I don't know, but I can tell you how you know if you stayed too long. If you're laying on the ground looking up and don't remember how you got there, you stayed too long and not quite long enough, right? So when the colt's doing good, call it good. Day one, what's expected? I expect on day one not to get bucked off. Anything above that is a bonus. I don't mind if he walks around freely. I love it if he even breaks into a trot. If he breaks into a relaxed lope, I'm okay, but I'm not gonna push for the trot and the lope. I might let them happen, but I'm not gonna push for them in the very first ride. I'm gonna ask for them in the second ride, but I'm not gonna push for them in the first ride. Just let it stay relaxed. Stewardship is a godly character trait that we get talked about a lot. And you know what? Honestly, let's break it down. What is it? Stewardship is caring for what you're given, whatever that is. It doesn't matter what it is, it's caring for it. So as a child, I remember having a rabbit business, and I sold a lot of rabbits, and it was really a neat deal. My dad encouraged me to do it, but he struggled getting me to do my chores. I wasn't a good steward. And finally he sat me down one day and he said, Ken, you need to understand something. Those rabbits didn't choose to be in that cage. You chose to put them in that cage. So it's your job to take care of them. And from that time on, I did my chores regularly. Once I realized, look, it's my job to take care of them. They become my charge. When I look at your horses, your horse doesn't have to have the greatest stall. He doesn't have to have the most expensive feed. He has to have clean, humane, caring care. That's what he has to have. For me to think of being a steward of my animals, I want to care for them the way that God intended. That's it. It doesn't have to match what my neighbor necessarily does or what my neighbor necessarily thinks, but it has to match what I believe God asked me to do. They have to be cared for well. When I think of my children, I am their steward. They were given to me to care for. I want to teach them as much as I can about life. I want to prepare them as much as I can to go out and become solid citizens and adults that are dependable. When I look at anything that I've been given, it's my job to care for it in the best way possible. It's actually my job to care for my personal life the same way. When it comes to your personal life, being a good steward of everything that you have, everything that is around you, it doesn't matter if it's taking care of your house, fixing things that need to be fixed, cleaning out your garage, taking care of your vehicle. Being a good steward just means taking care of what's given to you. God's given us these gifts. Let's care for them the best we possibly can. Thank you so much for joining us. We're having so much fun here at the 3-week program this summer. Filming and learning and just working horses is such a great thing, and we hope you're having that much fun at home. And until next time, may God bless the trails you ride.
Find out more about Ken McNabb horsemanship at kenmcnabb.com.
That one true horse, the perfect partner built to ride. One true horse, a bond that cannot be denied. You would search forever just to have the chance to take a ride on one true horse.
Thank you so much for joining us every week. We love having you on the show. You're not on the show, you're watching it. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Somebody else want to do this? And until next time, may God bless the trails. You guys were terrible. You guys were terrible. Like, that was your turn to flop.